What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode. This is episode number 86. We start today's episode off on the back of the transfer deadline day, which of course saw us pick up Kefren Turam joining Santos, who of course we are with Inter Milan. He's come back, desperately need him as well with Van der Beek now gone. He's the perfect player for this team. Obviously signed Monchu as well for our bench as well, so we need more midfield depth. We've got it, and of course signed Ayala, that 6'7" new gen from the Magpies. Can't wait to try him out for the first time. And also Hara, a third choice goalkeeper who shows great potential as well. So yeah, 4 new signings on deadline day. And as we talked about it, over $500 million spent. Yes, when you look at the net loss, it was only around 90 million on constructing this Athletic Madrid side. I'm going to be honest, I'm liking how it's looking. I really am. We got our identity we wanted, a young team, energetic, versatile, a really good Spanish core as well, and some star players in their primes as well. And heading to the first game of today's episode on the back of our first loss with Atletico away against Cadiz by 2-1. Back at home to Metropolitano, taking on Deportivo Alaves. I love him so much, I really do. One of my favourite players in this year's FIFA. If not my favourite player, Kefren Turam took just 6 minutes on his debut to open his account at the Metropolitano. I love it. And that run there, that run there where João Felix picked him out, this is what I said when we signed Kefren Turam, and also to a lesser extent when we signed Monchu as well. What we're going to try and do with Raskin, the Modric, sorry not Raskin, Nikolic, the regen of Modric as well. We want those sort of players that can do it all through the middle of the park. We've got 3 central midfielders. It'll be very easy to say, oh well, 1 ball-in midfielder, 1 deep line playmaker, 1 box-to-box. Someone that can have free roam, if you will. It's fine to have that kind of strategy, but for me, I really feel with no wingers in this team, no wide midfielders, I want those sort of players that can do it all, do all of the dirty work on the defensive side, but then when asked to, can sit back and play balls forward and just protect the back line, or when asked to, can pop up on the edge of the area like Frank Lampard used to do. I want players that can do all of those things, and Turam is literally that perfect player for that sort of thing. So yeah, he opens the scoring. Alaves would level it soon afterwards, so our second goal conceded in 2 games. I said after our first 2 games we kept back-to-back clean sheets. I want a tight defence this year, so back-to-back games without a clean sheet, not going to feel good. This was going to feel even worse. Yeah, half an hour into the game, oh my god. We just seen Fran Garcia go down with a sprained ankle for 4 weeks on his debut. Nikolic, Modric's regen, flies into a 50-50 duel. And I mentioned so many times, I've played FIFA long enough now, I can tell how bad an injury is going to be based on the animation alone. I already knew. It wasn't even half time, but I already knew how bad that injury was going to be. 7-month ACL, no doubt about it. So I thought, okay, we've lost Nikolic, but we've got to make sure we get back in front in the second half, and we do so as well. 6 minutes after the restart, well, Modric's regen, we won't see him again for a while. We know that'll be the case, but Messi's regen puts us back in front. But are we totally honest here? He was having an absolute stormer, but as was Kefren Turam, winning balls back constantly deep in our own territory. 2 of our 3 goals, Turam won the ball back with a tackle to start up a counter-attack, and they both came for Severlos as well. Our quick counter-attacking football in this game was absolutely lightning, and Turam, again, was the orchestrator both on defence and creating and on offence as well. That's why I've signed him. Man was on fire, but this guy was even more on fire. Yep, he was absolutely burnt out come the final whistle. Why is that? Because he ran himself into the ground, but did get his first hat-trick in the process. Messi's regen rounds the keeper, chips it in, cheeky as you like. 3 goals in 6 attempts, but most crucially, 4 goals already for our new number 11. Remember when I signed him and I said £140 million might prove to be a bargain? This is what I meant. This is what I meant. 87 rated. He's already up to 4-star skill moves now. And spoilers here, you'll see come the end of the episode when I show you his stats and his attributes. He jumps up to 5-star come the end of the episode as well. So That means straight afterwards I'll be able to put him on a development plan to improve the attacking work rate from medium to high. But man is just on absolute flames. But unfortunately, this guy won't be on fire for a while. Instead, he'll be cooling off in the treatment room, gutted about it. So I knew it was going to be an ACL, though. You can tell by the animation sometimes and how quickly the referee stops play for an injury. But yeah, Nikolic done for 7 months, and we won't see him again until around April, May time. So gutting, absolutely gutting, because he hasn't got the highest potential. He's actually got the highest potential of our entire squad, potential to be special. He's already got a rating this year to 84 as well. And oh man, like 21 years old. I often talk about like early 20s are really important, like periods of development, if you will. And I'm always talking about football players, I'm talking about anyone in general, you know, it doesn't matter what you're doing for a living, or where you are in the world. The early 20s can sometimes like be the building blocks for you as you become an adult, as a man or a woman. You know, the early 20s can be really crucial building blocks for you for a development stage, and for footballers as well, you know, so to miss, you know, 7 months with injury. That's hard. In fact, you know what? I put out a tweet just over a week ago now about Hector Bellerin. Obviously, Bellerin, as we know, had his contract. Actually, no, I don't think it was terminated by Arsenal. I think it was just a free transfer. I think, you know, whatever the case, Bellerin moved to Barcelona, or back to Barcelona, I should say, on a free from Arsenal. So, you know, obviously, he was in the Barca Academy, the La Mafia Academy, and then obviously he left to join Arsenal at such a young age. He broke into the first team at such a young age. And then, of course, he had that really damaging ACL, I think when he was about 23 years old. That's a really young age to get such a serious injury. And I talked about how it can be so hard to come back from that at any age, but especially so when you're a young player, you know, because it really halts your development at such a key point in your young adult life. And it really can be as psychologically damaging as physically as well. So, you know, I think for Bellerin's case, the fact he's come back, and some people would say, oh, he fell off a little bit, you know, he never hit the heights of becoming one of the best right backs in Spain, or whatever the case might be. But he's won 4 domestic cups, to be fair. It was a staple of Real Betis's team last year. He did really well for Betis last year in the games I watched, and I thought Betis had a good season last year. You know, obviously winning the Copa del Rey as well. He's won 3 FA Cups with Arsenal, you know. I think the guy's done all right to recover from that big ACL and do as well as he's done too. So yeah, for Bellerin's sake, I'm pleased to see how well he's responded, and now he gets that dream move back to his hometown team of Barcelona. And I hope, touch wood, he does well at the Nou Camp there under the Xavi managerial era. But Nikolic done for 7 months, and one of his teammates is going to join him as well. Look at this, man. 2 big injuries in 2 games. We've had 3 noteworthy injuries already to start the season off. Unbelievable. Garcia out of a 4-week injury. He's, of course, now come back. Nikolic done for most of the season with the ACL. And now Enzo Fernandez dislocates his shoulder, and he's done for 2 months. Now, when I talked about CM depth and why it was so important, this is what I mean. We've got 3 CMs in this team that are going to be worked to their bone every single game. We need high-energy players. That was part of my strategy coming in here. Hard-working team. And we need the depth as well. This is why already 2 injuries to my starting 2 CMs alongside Kefren Turam. If the Frenchman goes down, we're absolutely screwed. But yeah, we sold Van de Beek, we sold Valverde. This is why I needed to spend big on Kefren Turam and Monchu and Modric's Regen, plus bringing in those free agent talents as well. This is why I needed that, you know, because our midfield is going to be worked to the bone every single game because we're a high energy team, and of course there's no wide midfielders to pop inside and help them out at times. So yeah, big injury there for Fernandez. But again, I've got to say, I mention this a lot, I do kind of like it. I really do. I know it sounds a bit, I'm not sure what the word is here, a bit weird, I suppose, but I do quite like injury crisis. I mean, it's not a crisis, but injury struggles in one position, because it's really cool when fringe players get a chance for more game time. You know, see how good they are. Can they hold down a spot? And then afterwards, when that player comes back from injury. But you know, I get asked all the time, man, like how do you make your career most realistic? How do you make it more fun to play? How do you keep them? You know, how do you keep the longevity up? So on and so forth. And one of the biggest tips for me, I say it all the time. One of the biggest tips is guys, improve the injury slide. I know. It might be frustrating when you just signed a player and you're so excited to use him. You've got no idea how excited I was for Nikolic this season, man. Potential to be special. Modric Regen. Literally couldn't wait to be using this guy all season, and now I'm not going to get a chance to. But I know, as frustrating as it is, the benefits outweigh the negatives, because it makes the save a lot more challenging and a lot more enjoyable, and the key for a save like this, a lot more realistic too. So yeah, for the 4th and final game of today's episode, after a goalless goalless draw at Anfield in Liverpool in the Champions League group opener. I put in Ayala for that game. It was so funny. I brought in the big man, the 6'7". I put him in the back line. I thought I'd see how he can do against Liverpool. I played a really high line in that game as well. Not sure if you noticed it in the stats, but I caught them offside 3 times. Played a really, really high line. I went opposite to what I'm often doing with this Atletico side, which is defending deep and dropping deep. I actually pushed up a lot more in that game, and it proved to pay off as well with 3 straight offsides and a clean sheet and an incredible goalless draw there against Liverpool at Anfield on match day 1. Then we beat Villarreal, Emirates side away, taking on the Yellow Submarine by a goal to 0. João Felix with the only goal of the game in that one. Really poor game, I'll be honest. One of my worst games of FIFA, but still scrape through the win. That's what champions need to do. And our final game of today's episode, Sevilla here at the Metropolitano, heading into the game. And as you'll see, we took a 2-goal lead, jumped out of it early. Ceballos once again was absolutely on fire. Scored our 2nd goal, I think it was, and also our 3rd as well in a his first goal, the first goal and the 3rd goal as well. João Felix got the other. So yeah, 4 goals in our last 2 games. 2 for Ceballos, 2 for Felix. Do you think these guys are struggling to adapt to each other's play styles? Absolutely not. The dynamic duo are both on fire right now. Great start for our Portuguese forward and Messi's Regen as well. But at the moment, whilst we've had some big game players so far this season, Thuram's come in and settled in nicely. Felix is off to a good start. It's this man right now who's looking the real deal. 7 goals and 3 assists in 5 La Liga games. Going for the golden boot. He's doing all right. He doesn't need an adjustment period. Messi spent so many years tearing up La Liga. Ceballos has got many years to do that as well. Up to 5-star. Skill moves already from 3-star. Now can get the attacking work rate up to high as well. This guy could absolutely dominate La Liga this year, so long as he doesn't get injured like we've seen we've had struggles with this season. Starting the season off, 5 wins in 6 in our Liga, just a 1 defeat. We're chasing the 100% Barcelona. Won the championship last year in the save, and we know if we're going to win La Liga this year, they're our main threat to the title. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Summer Career, guys. Big fan of you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you haven't, please like. Most of you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the next episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode very soon.